We can see here Tyler Loon moving into that second round. Andrews takes down Hearn in 3 games, 11-0 in the third. Wonder what happened there. Daniel Roditi, the pastor, 12-10 in that first game against Pesa Teone, then 11-zip. It's amazing how what can happen. Gotta think that might have been sort of an emotional loss in that first game, having been so close and then so one-sided.
We need you to report the tournament desk.
Rob Nunnery, someone to watch here going forward in this tournament. An exciting new player on the scene here. He's into the second round with an 11-4, 11-8 victory. Let's take a look at the next quarter. Johnson and Johns moving on. They're going to face each other. Tyson McGuffin, we saw him earlier against AJ Kohler. Devilliers winning 11-6, 11-2 against the youngster William Sobek. That's going to be an interesting matchup between Devilliers and McGuffin. As we continue on through the draw, Ben Johns, no surprise, moving through against that world number 1 racquetball player that we saw earlier, Jack Huzek.
Rich and Haney, your matches.
Challenged Johns early on, 11-8, and then 11-0 in the second game. Ben Johns so strong, especially when playing with the lead. Zane Affleck, he moves on to the next round with a tough 12-10 in the third win. Smith takes down Petty in 3 games. And finally we look at the last quarter. Rafa Hewett, who we're about to see, he took down Ernesto Fajardo out of Canada. He's now going to play Frank Anthony Davis, and we're going to get to watch that here. Joseph moves forward. I believe that was by a default. And Kyle Yates, no surprise, I think. He takes down Ray, 11-4, 11-7. As we look right now at the players warming up, Frank Anthony Davis in the near court. Frank Anthony Davis, one of the most exciting pickleball players out there, real singles specialist. No slouch at doubles either, but really prides himself on his singles play. Rafa Hewett on the other side, the tall lefty out of Idaho. Really exciting player, relatively new on the scene. Great tennis player, started a tennis program at the university where he was their all-time winningest player. If you don't watch a lot of singles, this is going to be a great example. 2 really interesting players out here. We see the lefty Hewett on the far side. Got a long reach, going to be tough to pass at the net. Frank Anthony Davis, one thing you're going to watch is how fast he is on the court. He gets balls back. I've had a number of epic matches against Frank, and the number of times that I hit balls that I was sure was a clean winner, not only come back, but come back with authority. All right, so as these players finish their warm-up, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with game number 1 here from the PPA Grand Slam Qualifier in Mesa, Arizona, right after this break. All right, ready? We're back live here on Championship Court. Frank Anthony Davis getting ready to serve to Rafa Hewett. What a great start to the match there. Davis likes it. So what you're going to see here is you're going to see these players typically trying to come in off the return of serve, quite different from what we saw a moment ago. Look at Hewett use that slice backhand return. And Davis, that is why he is going to run so far over. Interesting to see whether he runs out of room. The bleachers are pretty close here, and Davis, being as fast as he is, he's going to, at every possibility, try to move out wide to his forehand. Gives him more offensive opportunities like we saw there on that inside-out forehand drop. 2-0. Watch him look to use his forehand. Smart play by Hewett. Davis right now, all cylinders firing here. Hewett went back to the forehand of Davis, anticipating there might be some open court there since Frank runs around his backhand so much. And this time Hewett chooses to stay back. Jeez. This is an example of Frank being in the zone right now. He's focused, he's ready. 4-0 out to an early lead. And even with that put away, Frank. Yeah, I think there's going to be a timeout there. We're going to stay with it here. Smart move by Hewett to take that timeout. He doesn't need a break himself. What he's trying to do is trying to cool off his opponent. If Frank continues to play pickleball like this, he will be a serious contender to take home the gold. We say hi to our friend Tanya Major. She's watching. All right, off to an early 5-0 lead here. 5-0. Davis continues to go to work here, using that forehand, that inside-out angle, and he still got it. Right now, everything is going his way. Balls that could easily go out managed to find the line. 6-0. Davis continues to control the point here. Rafa Hewett not able to come in. And once again, we see the player at the net wins the point. Hewett not able to come back come in because of the deep serve. Creates an opportunity for Frank to come in and play that nice volley. That's a great. And at that point, Hewett has to say, that is the best possible return I can hit. How does the guy hit a clean winner on it? Sometimes there's nothing you can do except hope that your opponent cools off. Davis does his best. Rafa Hewett finally gets the ball. 0-8 is the score here. Hewett trying to do something. And even there, Frank Davis, he's all over it. 8-0. With that one serve, Hewett gives the ball back to Davis. That ball stays in. Say hi to Eric Lang, Lauren Stratman, Simone Jardine. 0-8, you're watching live coverage here at the Pro Pickleball Association Grand Slam Qualifier. Here in beautiful Mesa, Arizona. It's a beautiful day out, freezing cold. Someone who's not freezing cold, though, is Frank Anthony Davis. He's on fire here. We see another great passing shot. The tall Hewett not able to get the ball back in play. Even that ball, Davis guesses right. That ball manages to stay inside the baseline. Things going Davis's way so far. He's up 10-0 here in game number 1. Rafa Hewett not sure what's hitting him. And with that, Davis takes game number 1, 11-0 in short order. Gotta think even Frank Anthony Davis not totally sure what's going on here. He's really playing pretty well. And by pretty well, I mean amazingly well. Great job for him. We're going to go to a quick break for a moment. We'll be back with more. See if Frank Anthony Davis can keep it up here in game number 2 for Mesa.
White Ford F-250 with a white Denali travel trailer.
0-0 is the score here in game number 2 of this men's pro singles match here at the Pro Pickleball Association Grand Slam Qualifier in Mesa, Arizona. I'm Mark Renison, and you are watching, I think Lee Featherby here on Facebook put it nicely, you're watching a masterclass in singles play from Frank Anthony Davis. He's playing Rafa Hewett, who's no slouch of a player at all. But Davis has been on fire, hitting winners from all over the court. And I warned you folks early on that Frank is the kind of player when you think you've done the right thing, all of a sudden he punishes you. And great deep serve. Hewett not able to get to the net, and gotta try to figure out a way to stop the freight train that is Frank Anthony Davis right now. 1-0. There we go. That side out. Nice winner by Hewett. Frank Anthony Davis. Actually, I did talk with him. I'll see if I can put that up for you. Good read by Hewett, but Davis is able to get there, put it away.
New match in the senior pro division for GS3 Grandstand 3. Dave Whitebach versus Dan Brennan. Whitebach and Brennan for GS3 Grandstand 3. Still all 4-0, men's 4-0, 35 plus. James Caston versus Hutchinson. Caston and Hutchinson, your matches at the tournament deck.
I just posted a link there. Chatted with Frank. He really has improved his singles play over the last couple of years. Real contender now. And that's not by accident. He's been very deliberate in what he's been doing to be able to come out here and have the belief not only that he can compete with those players, but that he can defeat them. And so I just posted a link there. You can click on that if you want to listen to it at some point. Frank was very generous with his time. 0-3, and there's a point. That's the first point of the game for Rafa Hewett. He's on the board.
Second call,
1-3.
Jennifer Dawson, your pro match is waiting on court 15B.
Low return on the backhand side to Hewett. He's not able to keep the ball low enough to stay in play. 3-1, Davis serving. That's an example of the movement of Davis. Good job by Hewett to finish off the point with the overhead and to stay in the point. A lot of people in that situation will think that they've got the winner locked up. Davis, however, gets to it. Always makes you play one more ball. 1-3, Hewett serving to Davis. He had the angle lined up just a bit too low. And again, I'd call that technically it's an unforced error, but the pressure that Davis is putting on at the net is definitely forcing the issue, as is that serve. Hi, Stefan Boyland. Welcome back to the live stream here from the PPA event. Players are going to take a quick hydration break. We're going to take one as well. This is brought to you by Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good.
People have this conception that pickleball, oh, that's an old person's sport, but I don't think they realize how physically demanding it is with those quick bursts and long, grueling points. The first US Open, I found myself cramping in 2 different events. When you start cramping, it's too late. And when I first started playing, I wasn't ready for that. The biggest difference I feel on the court with Jigsaw products is I'm not cramping at all. It gives you that mental confidence that your body's going to hold up. Jigsaw products will provide a lot of value to you both on and off the court.
And we're back live. If you're just joining us, it's Mark Renison here bringing you live coverage here on Championship Court. Frank Anthony Davis showing us how to play some singles pickleball. It's really been on fire out here today. Rafa Hewett has not played badly, but Frank Anthony Davis does things like that.
New match in the men's Senior Pro Series, Court 6B's Boy
And you can understand why Frank is climbing up in the ranks as a singles player. 5-1.
And O'Rourke, your match is on Court 6B as in boy. Yvonne is your referee.
Nice job by Hewett there. Wondering whether he was going to play a lob after he drew Davis in. It's going to be very tough to beat him one-on-one in that cat and mouse game, but gotta wonder. Frank is not a tall player, and gotta wonder whether he's maybe susceptible to a good offensive lob over the backhand side. Gotta expect that it's going to come back, but perhaps it comes back without causing a lot of trouble. 5-1 is the score. Hewett had a chance there. Davis serving. Great deep serve. That's going to keep Hewett back. Davis will draw him in, and there are the reflexes of Frank. So quick. Lee Featherby on Facebook says he's so light on his feet. Relaxed, yeah. Like a little kitten out there. 7-1. Another great deep serve. Frank has been spending a lot of time training with friend Colin Johns, who we saw along with Adam Stone winning the silver medal yesterday in the men's pro doubles. We talked a little bit about that in our podcast that I posted earlier. Great backhand spinning volley from Davis. Not much Hewett can do. Frank Anthony Davis showing what first-class pickleball looks like. Let's see if he's aggressive with that first serve again. Not deep enough to keep Hewett back. Hewett does a good job of getting to the net, putting pressure on Davis, and finding the open court. Davis is leading right now, 1 game and 9-1. Hewitt's going to try to put some more points on the board here. Loving to get a free point like that, and he's going to have to rely on a few more like that. All right, that's going to be a quick timeout here. We're going to be back in a moment with more here from center court. PPA Grand Slam qualifier.
Does anyone know how to use this thing? Oh, here's IT.
Just tap.
Hi, guys.
We're all back here on championship court. Rafa Hewett serving at 2-9 right now, trying to make something happen. He has not played poorly today, but Frank Anthony Davis has done what Frank Anthony Davis does, and that is make his opponent hit one more ball and come up with the kinds of shots and angles that are seemingly impossible. Hewett comes over, does a little tidying.
New
9-2.
Singles 3-5, 35 and 50 plus. Karen Fox versus Wendy Steiner. Fox and Steiner, your match is waiting at the tournament deck.
That ball in the net, that's going to be a side out. Blair Hoff says, I'm in Canada with a bunch of snow on the ground. I'm sure freezing is a relative term. Yeah, I'm going to be going home to Canada tomorrow, Blair. Although earlier on my trip here in Arizona, there were frost warnings. It was below 0 Celsius. That's 32 Fahrenheit for our American friends. In the mornings when I wake up, you're in the desert here, and the days can be hot and nights can be cold. Meanwhile, Hewett's hoping that Davis cools off a little bit. 2-10.
New match, women's singles pro. Court GS2.
Again, technically an unforced error, but with the coverage that Frank is showing at the net, Hewett definitely feeling the pressure. That's going to be 10-2, and that's going to set up our first match point here for Mr. Davis. Match point number 1. Solid forehand return of serve from Hewett. Frank threw in the lob serve just to see if that rhythm change could throw off Hewett. It didn't. Instead, he lined up a great inside-out forehand. Frank had to scramble, which he is more than happy to do, but Hewett able to take that point. Nice job from him. 2-10. There's that offensive lob I was suggesting might be effective early. Good overhead and good angle from Frank. I think you got to get over the backhand side of Davis if you want to challenge him a little bit with that lob. Wind has picked up a little bit here. That ball dribbles over the net. Hewett will take it. Daniela Nis says, hi Mark, loving my Selkirk paddle I won from Third Shot Sports. I'm glad you are, Daniela. Just a reminder that Selkirk and Third Shot Sports are both partners here of the PPA. Great backhand drive from Hewett. 3-10 is the score. Good solid forehand drive off the left side of, what do you say, the Idahoan? The Idahoan? It's probably more correct. Hewett looking to use that forehand. Ball doesn't make it over the net, and we've got another match point here from Frank Anthony Davis. Look for him to be aggressive with this serve. And he is. That's going to be out. Game and match goes to Frank Anthony Davis. He takes it at 11-0, 11-4. Frank is going to be a contender, I suspect, here in this inaugural PPA event here in Mesa, Arizona, this Grand Slam qualifier. We're going to be back with more live action from center court in just a moment. Be sure to stay tuned.
It's no secret, I lose so many electrolytes when I play. Eventually, I either start cramping or I run out of gas.
Electrolyte Supreme gives me enough energy and hydration.
They prevent cramps, and what's really important to me, they help me to recover quicker.
I know I can push myself a little bit more and not have to worry about cramps.
I feel better, I feel good, and it's fun to feel good.
We're feeling great, we're energized, and we're ready to have a great day, right, Lucy?
And it's fun to feel good.